Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of the official podcast for Guardian 1, a Destiny group dedicated to the prosperity of Guardians everywhere. We broadcast live Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv Guardian 1 Network. My name is Remy, and I love talking about Destiny. Joining me this evening are 4 Guardians who also love talking about Destiny. First up, we have River. Back from a months-long hiatus. Welcome back, River.
Wow, has it really been that long? I didn't even think I was gone that long. I do apologize, and it's great to be back.
Awesome. It is great to have you back. What are you most excited about talking about tonight? Since you've been gone for so long, so much information has culminated since then. What are you most excited about talking?
That's a good question because, like you said, there's so much stuff to really talk about, and I'm not really sure what it is we are going to talk about. That's up to you, Remy.
Awesome. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
I've narrowed
buddy.
it down to 5 or 6 specific conversations I'd like to have with a huge trail of topics that we haven't yet touched on. So
Nice.
Definitely more than the hour that we have allotted to us. So
Damn.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks.
Next up is Crimson Warlock. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Oh, I'm great. I'm ready to talk some Destiny and maybe see some opinions from our audience and just have a good time.
Outstanding. What are you most excited to talk about?
I really like our lineup, but probably just seeing what you guys think of maybe things that were announced in the last couple of weeks, strategy guide, the rating, and even the Collector's Editions. I'm ready to talk about those too.
Awesome. I am ready to talk about all that as well. It's great to have you on the show. Lastly, we have Jez. Jez, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Just got off a long shift, so probably a little bit tired.
Outstanding. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Not really.
What
Lots
is
of
it?
pizza.
What's that?
Lots of pizza.
Lots of pizza, huh? That sounds exciting.
Yeah, pizza's delicious. What are you talking about?
Not when you're only making it and never eating it.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, that sounds like torture. What are you most excited to talk about tonight, Jez?
Probably just whatever happened on Bungie Day. It was quite another info explosion. They just keep coming up.
Totally. Well, it is great to have you on the show. What's that?
It's good to be here.
We are currently 7 days from the start of the PlayStation beta, 13 days from the beginning of the Xbox beta, and 61 days from the full release of Destiny on all 4 systems. Exciting news, and a lot has happened this week. We got the database, we got the beta dates, we got the different editions of Destiny, and today we were given the opportunities to select our consoles for the beta. So why don't we start there? I locked in my PS4. I locked in PS4 as my selection for the beta, and I was lucky enough to get to GameStop and reserve my Ghost Edition before they sold out. I'm super excited about the Ghost replica, and I cannot wait to play with it. I will not, however, be licking it as per More Consoles' repeated suggestion. River, did you lock in a beta date, or did you lock in a beta console, and did you reserve a special edition of Destiny yet?
A beta console? Wait, what do you mean by a beta console? You mean like a specific platform that I'm going to be playing the beta on?
Yeah, did you get that all set up today?
Yeah. Fortunately and unfortunately, I'm going to be on the 360 for the beta since I don't have an Xbox One yet. And I have reserved my copy of the Ghost Edition. I am super psyched to get that thing.
Awesome. Yeah, super psyched to get that
Oh
thing.
man. I mean, that thing is life size, right?
Totally.
The
Yep,
Ghost
it is. It's full-size replica.
That is freaking amazing.
Right, and I liked Deej's description of it on the Guardian radio on Monday, where he said it's heavy enough to where you can drop it, it's not going to break, but you can't cave someone's skull in with
Yes.
it. This was his And I appreciate that because I kind of get a feeling for how hardy that is, and I need it to at least be able to fall from about 3 feet without breaking into a million pieces. You know,
Right.
if I can get that, I will be happy with that. What about you, Warlock? Did you lock in your console for the beta, and did you get a special edition of Destiny?
Yeah, I locked in my PS4 selection earlier today, but unfortunately, I did not get Ghost Edition due to time constraints on my part. I had some things going on and went to GameStop Wednesday morning, and they said that Tuesday was the last day for it.
Wow.
You know, it's
So
not too late, right?
Oh, I hope not.
No.
But they wouldn't let me reserve one, so I have
Well-
the limited one right now. I've got the limited edition.
Well, I'm saying GameStop's not your only avenue to get you a Ghost Edition.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'll wait for others to pop up, and then I'll probably get a refund and go grab that. But
Well, I know Best Buy told me on Twitter that they still hadn't even really released the Ghost Edition in their stuff yet.
yeah, if Best Buy announces it, then I will be there in a heartbeat because
I'll let
that's
you know,
usually
man.
where I go. That's usually where I go is Best Buy. So
Okay, all right.
Oh, so what? So you think that they haven't even gotten their shipments yet? That's interesting. I read that tweet.
well, okay, River. Yeah, River. You've got to tell everyone what that tweet said.
Oh, okay. Well, let me freaking have to go back. But whenever I was talking about how Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy doesn't have the Ghost Edition listed on their websites anymore, Best Buy hit me back on Twitter, and they said, "Yeah, we haven't released the Ghost Edition. I think
They haven't
online,
released anything. They
They
just
haven't,
have the standard
like-
edition so far.
like nothing. So keep an eye out online. They're supposed to be releasing it sometime soon, I'm sure. So
You will miss out on that red ghost, though. or
the
not
physical
those, I
one,
mean
yeah. If you
meant
get
the
the limited
red
edition, you'll
Sparrow.
have the in-game one.
No, I mean the Sparrow. Sorry,
Oh, the Sparrow. That is true.
from GameStop.
Oh, wah, not a special skin sparrow.
Hey, it actually
no.
moves faster at the start
Oh,
of the game. That's
Whoop-de frickin' do. Come on, man. It's not that big of a deal. So you're gonna miss out on something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's cool if you have it, and if you don't, you know, it can be unlocked through in-game play, which I think is really important.
Mm-hmm.
I have been hearing a lot of people asking about if anyone's going to be getting like a second shipment of these. And Jez, you said to me on Twitter that you couldn't believe that they underestimated the demand so much. And I think that this was like a specific amount, like they wanted to only put out X amount to make it special. But at the same time, you're right. Like there's a huge demand for this plastic toy.
Well,
I had talked myself into believing that I could get the limited edition because the limited edition basically has everything that's cool about the Ghost Edition except for the cool Ghost. You know, that patch is awesome and those 2 foils of the Traveler are cool, but the limited edition is definitely a good choice. Warlock?
I had a coworker I was talking with today. He's kind of interested in Destiny, but he hasn't quite decided to grab it yet. But anyway, like we were just talking, and he's like, I don't think, this was his opinion, is that he didn't think that Activision would miss out on all that extra money. I could almost agree with him that after getting all the numbers in and seeing how fast it goes, I think they'd probably order another round and it would open back up. That's my thought.
Well,
Like
really
a
leads
second run, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it really leads that they could probably release it as a standalone thing to buy on store shelves in the toy section.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It would make a lot more sense than Halo Mega Blocks. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
Oh,
me and my
World of
son love the
Warcraft
Mega
Lego.
Blocks, man.
I just don't get it. Like Mega Blocks are like for kids younger than Lego age, and you're trying to sell them an M for mature toy. Like it just doesn't make sense. I'm not saying I wouldn't play with one. I'm not saying I wouldn't accept it as a gift happily. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense.
They were grooming the next generation, just like we're doing that right now.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, I
Absolutely.
don't even think Halo was the worst because they've
No.
had Call of Duty Mega Bloks.
Oh, for reals? I didn't see that.
See, yes, that's the worst thing, and I would have to refer to the whole Halo should never have been rated M for mature, anyways. But that's a completely different conversation in itself.
It is,
Or-
but it actually leads into our T rating conversation on Destiny because I absolutely agree with you. Like as I'm playing Halo, I think to myself, why is this rated M? You know, this isn't
Mhm.
Silent Hill. That's rated M, right? What were
That's
you gonna say,
right.
Jess?
I'm not sure now. I got distracted.
Jazz was gonna talk about his platform and what edition he reserved.
That's correct, Jez.
Well, I still have the standard edition reserved, but that's either going to change to the limited edition because I'm for sure not going to be able to get anywhere where Ghost is, and I'm not going to order offline. But if I don't do that, I'll probably get a limited and a digital Guardian edition.
Oh, check you out, Big Money Bucks. All those
Just
pizzas,
because-
huh?
All those pizzas.
Just because I want that sweet case, but the digital edition will have slightly better load times.
Yeah, you think so? I'm thinking
It won't
this.
matter.
Oh, you know what? I guess they could. I keep thinking back to Xbox discs where you had, some kind of maximum of, 7 gigabytes or something, but those are Blu-ray discs. They could totally be on that. That's a great point, Jez. I didn't even think about that. And I had actually been thinking about how my PlayStation 4 is basically just the fastest paperweight I've ever had right now because there is no Destiny. I don't want to play anything but Destiny. I'm just totally sick of video games. I still play them. I still put time in, and it's good because going from the Xbox controller to the PlayStation controller is jarring at first. Like half of my thumb was numb. Imagine doing 3/4 of like a curl, your whole life, or for the last 8 years, doing 3/4 of a curl, and then someone saying, well, you're not moving it all the way. Like I could feel it all the way up to my elbow. But
Oh man.
but interestingly, when my left thumb is on the stick and I'm up and I'm pushing in the forward walking up on the left stick, it's actually a lot closer to where my thumb likes to sit inertly on the Xbox 360 controller. It's really close to it, and so it feels really comfortable. Going back to playing like Assassin's Creed 4 on the Xbox has been a leap because I have to push my thumb all the way up. It takes the entire positioning of my left hand, and I have to move it. And when I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 controller, it feels like this is where I should be playing this game from. That's just my 2 cents.
I got you
There's
2
many
cents.
people that will disagree. I'm
Right.
not one of them, but there's quite a few that will disagree about how well that controller is.
Totally. Well, I actually really like them both. I think both of them, they've got something. They've both got something magical about them. But seriously, the PlayStation 4 having both thumbs in the same area is I don't know. It feels more compact. I haven't played Destiny, but there's this Blacklight Retribution, which is a first-person shooter free to play on PlayStation 4, and so between that and Warframe, I've been kind of just practicing and keeping up with that. So definitely, Jez, that's a really good point. I think that I am also interested in the digital edition for that specifically because, originally I was just going to keep Destiny in the PlayStation. It was just going to be called Destiny Station 4. That's what I was going to call it.
Nice one.
Because there's no reason for me to play anything else other than Destiny. But now that you're saying that, you're right. Like having those faster load times would be awesome. That's a really good point.
Like it is probably shaving off like 5 or 6 seconds, which in one match is not going to make a difference. But over the lifetime of 10 years, it's going to really add up over time.
Yeah, definitely. I asked this question: which Destiny will you be choosing on our forums? And 71% of respondents chose the Ghost Edition, 14% chose Limited, and 14% chose Standard. Chicken Lord, who is in our chat right now, who is always in our chat,
Thanks,
and
Chicken Lord.
I appreciate him being there. I appreciate his sense of humor and also his sense of helping, because while he may come off a little cynical, he's so helpful in every way possible. And I appreciate you being here. He says, I had 150 set aside for the game. I am thrilled the Ghost Edition is that much. I can't wait to play with and talk to my ghost. Agreed. The in-game stuff will, of course, be cool, but who knows how long it will be relevant. I'm sure there will be a use and a place for everything in one of my rooms. My wife will act like like she doesn't like it, but she has no choice. Destiny will throw up in my house, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Destiny's going to throw up in my house too. Grandpa DeMille says, I am thinking the limited edition. Mainly, it seems like I would be breaking about even with the expansion passes. Plus, I get some cool stuff to go along with it. Right? Like, when I thought for certain I wasn't getting that Ghost Edition, I talked myself into believing that the limited edition was good enough, because it really is. You know, while you're playing Destiny, is it really going to matter this little plastic ghost sitting next to you? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is yes. But really, you know, when you're in the heat of battle, you're not going to notice that little plastic ghost. And you know what? He may, you know, if you have the motion sensor set on and he's like, look out behind you, some fallen. And you're like, I'm in PvP. Although that would be cool. What if Fallen just sprung out of like you know, like what if you're in the middle of a battle of PvP and some some enemies showed up? I think that would be crazy.
What, in your little plastic ghost started talking to you about that crap?
Right? I've been thinking about it. Like, how are people going to hack this ghost and make it say other things and do other things? Like, the community is very creative. Leo says, still trying to figure out which one I can get with the most amount of goodies and also arrive as quickly as possible down in Costa Rica. And that's a good question, my friend.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I know about on this planet, and that is nowhere near one of them.
Me either.
Yeah.
He's actually doing some really important real life things right now, meeting some important people, doing real world things in Costa Rica. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Blue Mayhem says, I'll be getting the limited edition. You go, Blue Mayhem. It's a good choice. You know, and especially if you're not interested in that toy, you know, you're really not missing out on anything if you go that route. And Kabas71 says, hopefully the Ghost Edition, if not limited as the fallback. It certainly is.
Yeah, I can agree with that. If you can't afford that Ghost Edition, might as well get that limited, because you'll get all that useful in-game stuff.
Absolutely. So, Jez, you said that there's not a GameStop readily available to you?
No, it's roughly 45 to an hour away. 45 to an hour away.
Yeah.
I can't phrase that properly. My mind's not working right.
Huh.
Awesome.
I'm missing a word, I'm sure.
What's that?
I said I'm missing a word in that sentence, I'm sure, because it doesn't sound right.
Don't worry about it. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that's the Destiny we will be choosing. River, what is it that you want to talk about next? We got PvP equalization, we got the strategy guide, we got the T rating, we got the Xbox versus PlayStation debacle.
Oh gosh. You know, maybe the Xbox PlayStation deal.
Right?
I gotta say, my gosh.
Why don't you take point on this, and we'll back you up.
I don't even know where to begin. This is something that kind of bugs. Haha, funny. That kind of bugs me a little bit. How I honestly feel like Xbox those who stuck with the Xbox or switched with the Xbox, we're all just getting the shaft right now. And that's just how I feel. Not that I'm going to whine about it or anything. I mean, I understand Bungie's got to try to entice those PlayStation players or those Xbox players who have gone over to PlayStation. I can understand that. It's all business sense. I just feel that just because all my friends are sticking with Xbox, we're kind of paying the price for that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. As somebody who has played Xbox forever and has now made the the jump to PlayStation, I can understand that Bungie has to do what Bungie has to do,
Mm-hmm.
but you would think that they would say something more. Like I read, like, the forums have been crazy with hating on Bungie, and it makes me sad because at the end of the day, all of this beta stuff and all of that gear, it literally doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. There is,
Yeah.
like when we're a year into the game, or even day of release, all of the alpha is not going to matter. All of the beta is not going to matter. It's all going to be, piddly. Like, there's going to be
Right.
so many sets of armor that are more awesome than the exclusive armors that PlayStation people get. Like I understand why those are there, but I don't know. I wish people were more understanding about it. And mostly, what's that?
I was just going to say really quick, the main point about it too is everybody's separate, so you're not going to notice anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation 4 is going to be
point.
play with PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 with PlayStation 3. Xbox consoles are going to be by themselves too. So it's not like you're on the Xbox One and you're going to run past a Guardian who's wearing his PlayStation 4 exclusive gear. You're never going to see that. So really, in your perspective, it's never really going to affect you gameplay-wise.
That's a really good point, Mike. And I'm glad that you brought something up like that. The biggest effect, I think, is what we're going to see within the community itself. And hopefully, I'm hoping we don't see that kind of harping on each other, where folks are like, yeah, man, this thing was great, and it's too bad you were on fucking Xbox, and that kind of crap. I'd hope, since Destiny community is the best community, we can just kind of push past that in the long run and not let anybody get burned on that front.
Totally. As soon as people have this game in their hands, none of this is going to matter. None of it's going to matter. They're going to be playing it. It's going to be awesome. And it actually goes back to, I think that they have stuff planned for the Xbox people. And I got this from a question in the mail sack of love. It's from Boltons23, who's a fellow ancient warrior, and I was stoked to see his question in here, and it's a great question. He says, I want to buy the PS4 now that Bungie makes games for PlayStation, but I'm worried that it will effectively mean I am starting with a blank slate. How will this affect everything I have achieved with Halo? And I thought, this is something that I've wanted to know forever. Not these exact words, but this exact sentiment. And the answer that they gave was, with the rebuild of Bungie.net, we've sort of wiped that slate clean for you. Destiny and the online experiences that will support it will provide brand new opportunities for you to distinguish yourself as a rare and unique snowflake who kicks ass in a living world. The great feats you achieved in Halo may yet impact your legacy as a player of Bungie games. We still have a database with billions of rows of player data, and we're not afraid to use it. And when I think about these billions of rows of player data, I'm thinking about KD. I'm thinking about how many times you grenaded somebody versus how many times you shotgunned somebody. And so I'm thinking that there will be some way of representing this, what you've done in this past, and I love having Jez on the team because he sniffs bullshit out quick as hell. He does. If you have a question that you're not sure about, just ask Jez, and he breaks it down to the lowest common denominator, and he's not messing around. And so when I said to him this, he had to take a step back because this does sound like something that could be real. And I say this as somebody who who constantly contacts Jez and says, "I think I just dreamt something about Destiny. Is this true?" and a couple of these times, it turns out that I just dreamt it. Like I had this dream that I saw ghosts flying around in Destiny like by themselves. And this equated to me as if you've ever played Fable 3 and you had connection online to your friends, you could see an orb of where your friend was in the game, but you could not see his character until you joined games. And so I contacted Jez and I said, "Hey, I think that it's not going to be cross-platform, but I think that you're going to be able to see people on other platforms in the form of their ghost. Like, I think that you'll be able to see, like on Bungie.net, I'm connected from the PSN and I'm connected through Xbox Live. So if it's all going through Bungie.net and Destiny is all going through, these Bungie servers, there's no reason that this couldn't be something." But he couldn't help me find the footage because, like I said, I dreamt it up.
I do have to retell that story because I think I was slightly wrong. But I think there are ghosts that just fly around the tower, like not along the path, but like just around everywhere, kind of as a scenery. Just like you also sometimes will see a ship dock.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's just like active scenery. I don't think there's anything to do with them because they're like flying off the edge of the tower and zipping around in random directions, like way up in the air. There's no way that it's an actual person.
Yeah.
But I think there are ghosts that aren't connected to anyone.
That's cool. That's cool.
I wonder what that would mean for the lore, of course.
Totally. I'm curious to know what happens when you bring back dead ghosts. Where do they go? That's something that they said they're not talking about yet.
Or why would a ghost not have a guardian if they previously had one? I mean, it's supposed to respawn, right?
Totally. It's such a good question, and I hope that I hope we figure it out.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Bungie jumping into cameras to get third-person views of everybody. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, that actually, you saying that brings up an answer to a question that I heard. Something about, it's probably not connected, but it was something about, will we know a Bungie employee when we meet them in game? And I think Deej said something along the lines of, you will definitely see them, but sometimes you won't know that they're a Bungie employee. Sometimes they just want to go about their Guardian ways. And wouldn't that be crazy if they controlled ghosts? If that was one way that you could interact with them?
Yeah, that would be crazy. But I'm thinking he just means another guardian.
Absolutely, but I'm a dreamer. Damn it.
Hey, what can I say, Remy? I'm sorry, man. I'm just saying that's probably what's going to happen, bro.
No, I'm in on that. And you know what? Yeah. Even if nothing I've ever said in any of my videos, any of these podcasts, in any Twitter form, even if nothing I've ever said comes true, I'm going to love this Destiny because I trust Bungie to make the good game, to make a game that everybody wants to play, and they've had a long time to make it. And they got a lot of people on the team. So I trust Bungie to make the game that we need to play.
Mm-hmm.
Another point on ghosts. You played Halo, obviously, like the later Halos when they had Forge mode, and you were going around as that Guilty Spark looking thing.
Mm-hmm. Monitor.
Well, it'd be quite easy to just use a ghost if they ever implement the Forge to Destiny.
That's a great point.
No doubt.
And I love it.
Yep.
So I think that Bungie definitely loves the Xboxers. And I think that I think that they, even in their minds, are just thinking we just have to get to release. If we can just put this game in the hands of people who want to play it, they're going to love it. And so I don't know why they don't talk about it more. But they're not.
Well,
Uh,
I'll just say on that point, what since you weren't able to play Remy during the alpha, what are your thoughts on equalization then? You saw the media blow out when it came, and some reports were lackluster. What do you think about the equalization
What equalization?
for multiplayer and stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
What do you think about from what you saw in the alpha and stuff? Do you think it's fairly equalized already, or what?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's definitely one of the things I noticed from all of the footage I saw was that nobody was just blindsided to the point to where it didn't look like fun. It looked like if you missed 3 shots on somebody, that's on you. That didn't have anything to do with anybody's armor, and I didn't know how they were going to do this until I saw this video either yesterday or the day before yesterday from the Hip Hop Gamer, where Deej says, if you enter competitive multiplayer, we're going to level the playing field. When you enter the arena and you're going to do battle against another Guardian, we don't want the person who has the best gear or the strongest weapon to win. We want the best gamer to win. So it's going to be a skill-based game. I think that's exciting, and
Yes.
as much as I thought that they might leave it open, I think that I think that it's the only way to do it. I think it's the only way to do it so that the person with the strongest gun isn't the one who's always winning. And I could see a lot of people being upset about this. But actually, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to go over some ideas with you guys about how to maximize your advantage, because I'm thinking that the equalization will take place among the armor, like your armor rating, and the damage of the bullets. And so, because I doubt that they would, tune something down, because when you have a gun for a while, you're going to know how that feels, the 1-shot, 2-shot, 3-shot, bloom, reload. Like, I don't think that any of that's going to be tampered with. I think it's merely going to be a calculation of this gun in the wild could take down a Guardian in 3 shots, but in the arena, it's only going to be 5. It's going to be 5. You're going to have to hit them 5 times. What do you guys think about that?
So it's slightly different. You will have an advantage with higher level gear, but it's not that big of an advantage. It's more based off of like your armor stats, which will be lowering your cooldowns, or your additional bonuses that you've gotten from leveling up your weapons.
Yeah, but again, too, it's definitely skill based. I mean, when I was playing the alpha at level 5, I was able to kill level 8 guys who were maxed for the alpha and had better gear than me. It just took longer because my guns weren't as powerful.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's more equalized. It's not like everyone is exactly equal. There is still some difference, but if you catch someone, say you're level 1, and you catch someone that's level 20 back 2 to you, you're going to win. Unless you miss them, obviously, but you have the advantage of surprise, and you'll win because your gun will be doing enough damage to kill him in a short amount of time.
I like it. River?
You know what? I didn't play the alpha, so I'm going to go with what these alpha players said.
Well, but what do you think about the idea of equalizing these the gear and equipment, equalizing the Guardians on their way into the place? Is this something that's awesome to you or no?
Sounds totally fine to me, in all honesty. I mean, you're still going to have these other factors that go in, like if you're going to equalize weapons and gear, you still have your level up where, that affects how your supers work, how your double jump works, how your toughness and your other bullshit that you're doing, how that other crap works. So if it's just armor and weapons, you're still going to have these other factors either way. And I say, bring it on. Bring on the challenge. If you're level 20, I'll take you down.
I like it. I like it. I have a feeling you'll be sitting a lot of fools down, River.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, my thoughts with PvP really quick, and this is my thoughts with all end game content, raids and PvP is, it's fairly equalized, but those theory crafters and min maxers are the ones that'll have that edge. I mean, there's stats in there that decrease the cooldowns on some of your items.
Mhm.
I believe it's intelligence does your super, and discipline does
Grenade.
your grenade. And those people who are able to max those and minimize other things are going to have that advantage, because if they've got an extra half a second on throwing that grenade, and that's what's going to take you out.
I like it. That's a good point. It's going to be your mobility also. Those mobility upgrades are so sweet. I can't wait to explore using the added mobility.
Oh, me either.
So Jez, you say you're not much of a PvP person. Why is that?
I just never had the mindset for it. Like with PvP, the first initial burst of, okay, you go here, you go here, you go here, that makes sense to me because it's planned out and you know where everyone is. But a minute or so into the fight, everyone's in random directions. It's like, do I go to B? Is someone going to be at B? If there's someone at B, am I going to be just an extra person there? Or if I'm not there, will someone be there to kill my friend? So I can't make that decision that easily. Like, it doesn't come that quick to me. But when it comes to like strategy and PvP, it's much simpler for me to understand.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love PvP and I hate PvP. Love-hate relationship thanks to Halo 3.
Jazz, you can be our sniper finder. Just run out in the middle of the open. That's very
Right?
That's very
You know what?
valuable.
You know what? That is very valuable. I'm not even joking. Having somebody run out and get shot at, it means that I'm not being shot at by that second. So there's still room for you in PvP. You know what? That's my job. My job is to run out and get shot. You could do that one for me, and you know what? I would appreciate that. Real quick, I wanted to say I love that when a sniper is bearing down on you, there's a glare off of the scope. Like, when a sniper's got you in the scopes, and that's exciting to me. That changes the whole sniper game for me. Like, instead of where'd that come from, I know where it came from, and I feel it gives me the sense that I was able to do something about it. I wasn't even playing the game. I'm just watching footage of it. But seeing that on there, it's really similar to one of my favorite things is when Hunter throws up that golden gun because everybody either scatters or tries to take him down before that happens, and it changes the whole flow of battle.
Mhm.
And you could do that too, Jez, by running out and pointing out the snipers.
See?
Yeah, it definitely does give them away with that glare.
Right? Isn't that awesome?
It shows you where they're at so you can find cover that's facing them so you don't get shot.
Totally.
So is that dependent on the location of the light source, or is that whenever you're looking straight forward and a sniper just happens to be in your field of view?
I think it's field of view, Jez.
Yeah, it is. If you have a sniper in your field of view that's pointed at you, you'll see the glare.
Is
Oh,
it the same
oh.
for PvE as well? Like, if the fallen snipers are attacking you, do you see that too? I didn't notice.
Oh, I didn't notice actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe because all the snipers I saw were cloaked. Perhaps if you're cloaked, you can be looking at somebody and the glare won't happen. But yeah, Bungie adding that glare to the sniper was brilliant and changes the game. So thank you for that. Chicken Lord, I asked this question on our forums, and Chicken Lord says, "Skill is the name of the game. It should be. If you are better than I am, you should kill me more than I kill you. Nobody likes getting killed by the guy who has more kills simply because his gear is better. There is a place for your gear to swing the balance in your favor, and it's not in the Crucible, it's out in the wilds." And this sums it up for me. Like this is a very strong stance, and I agree with it. I agree with it wholeheartedly. So, thank you, Chicken Lord.
I have no idea how I really feel about that. I mean, sure, you have the guy who's been playing so much, and he is a better gamer, but you still need to have that factor in where the underdog can still come up and do something to turn the tide.
It's much better than in World of Warcraft, where once you get to a certain level, everyone has much better PvP gear than you. You do nothing, and you'll
right. You cry because
Yes.
you can't put 80 hours a week into it.
It's rough.
I like that a lot. Is PvP scared me until I read that. Like I didn't because I can die with honor. I can die with grace, but not if I don't feel like I even have a chance. Like somebody has a better gun than me, and I put 8 bullets into him. He puts 4 into me, and I die. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I don't want to play that anymore.
We'll see how this goes for you, Remy.
Right. I think I'm. What's that?
I also enjoy that. Your progress in PVE helps your progress in PvP and vice versa. I love that they've done that, so you can jump into either one and not feel like you have to have, like in World of Warcraft, you have to have a specific PvP set, and PvE has its own set of gear, and I'm so glad that you don't have to grind both.
Agreed. Moving on. Warlock, what is it that you are looking to talk about next?
Well, talking on PvE, let's hit the strategy guide.
Yes.
I think that was a boulder hitting the pond, not just a pebble. I think.
Oh gosh.
Man, everyone had 2 cents to say the day that was brought up, and I think that while it has its place, I won't touch it.
Not even to buy it.
I want to be a Destiny virgin when it comes to everything, as much as I can, and if I get information, it's going to be from the community. It's going to be from my friends. I don't want to, go buy the $30 book to show me where some hidden thing is. I want to be the one who finds that hidden thing.
Okay, so my question to you is, because this is where I keep coming back to, how are you going to stay away from everybody who's been where you are trying to not talk about? Like how are you going to avoid knowing where the Yellowhorn is when everybody's talking about it on Twitter or when we discuss it on the show? Like how are you going to keep away from spoilers?
Oh, well, like if it comes from the community, I don't mind, or I'll just say, hey, don't say that. I'll try not to read tweets if it's something I'm interested in, but I don't want to go to the strategy guide. I don't feel like that takes away from the game when it's just given to you. It's like here's how you get it. Here's all the little jump points to this little cave that holds a loot chest that holds this gun or this piece of armor. I don't want to see those type of screenshots from a book. I want to say, hey Jez, where did you get that? Show it to me. And we jump on our sparrows and we go on a loot run really fast.
I like it. I
What I would like to see is like, they have that Arms and Armaments folio with the limited edition and the Ghost edition, and it has little pictures of weapons and it's sort of lore of that weapon and maybe how to find it, or a very vague way to find it, and that's what I think I like. I like a vague description of, you might find it in such and such a place, so it's more of a riddle, more of a challenge to find, but it's still giving you that direction.
Agreed. River?
So on top of that, like Mike was saying, I completely agree with Mike. I am going to buy that strategy guide, but I'm not going to use any of that information in it. I'd rather hear the information from the community itself, because I feel like all of us together is supposed to be tackling this challenge that Bungie gave to us together, as guardians fighting the darkness type of deal, the whole lore thing. On top of that, I feel that the information in the strategy guide is severely diminishing the value of the immersion of things like the armament book in the Ghost Edition.
Good call.
Where it's got the little notes in there from folks who found this gun. Oh, the trigger on this is kind of loose or whatever. Those little personal notes that they put in there, I feel kind of is diminished from something like the strategy guide that gives you all the freaking hard facts and all the hard numbers and crap that honestly I feel you should probably be able to go find out yourself.
I agree. I agree, and I don't ever buy strategy guides. I don't see the use in them. If I'm going to play a game so much, I want to go through. I want an honest go through. What did I find? What did I unlock just by my own curiosity and my own way of taking apart the levels. So I don't ever buy the strategy guide, but I did buy the Reach super sweet hardback strategy guide. Like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I think I opened it once or twice to kind of look through it, but it's just sitting on my shelf waiting for my daughter to tear it off and into pieces. So until that day, it's in perfect condition, and it's beautiful. Like, I'm glad that I bought it. I'm glad that I have it, but I never used it. And I'm still undecided whether or not I'm going to buy the strategy guide. Like, I do want to have everything that has to do with Destiny. I want to have it all in my collection and have it available to look at. But I really don't want to see things that I could have found on my own. Like, there's a lot of joy in figuring out a puzzle for yourself or unlocking it with a friend. So I don't think that I'm going to buy it at first, but probably at some point. And really, I don't know. Really, I don't think I'm going to buy it. At least not at first.
One thing I want to point out about the strategy guide is that thing is going to be dated in less than 6 months. If Bungie is coming out with new content daily, like they've claimed, that's not going to be in the strategy guide. You give the strategy guide 6 months, and it's all old news anyway.
But I think that's going to be
other stuff. So
I still think that's going to be dependent on how exactly large Destiny is as a whole, because all the stuff that they have out right now, they could put into the strategy guide. But as they're adding new stuff, they won't have that new information, but that old information that's still in there might still be relevant depending on how big the game is.
Agreed.
I'm sure we wouldn't see any of the expansion details in there, though.
Oh, no.
When that comes out, that'll be brand new.
They might hint at it.
This goes along with something I don't remember what interview it was, but they said that at some points there might not be gear and equipment available. Like, as the world evolves, there will be items that are no longer in the natural ecosystem, and so those particular pieces will have a special place. Like, if you have one, then you have one. You have a valuable thing. So that kind of goes along with that. You're right. The strategy guide could be totally borked in 6 months, depending on that. And you know what? When I first saw the strategy guide, I thought, how are you going to corral this living world into this book? And I guess you can't. I guess you can't. I asked this question on our forums. 20% said, I will be purchasing because I want everything that has to do with Destiny. 40% said, I will not be purchasing because I don't want to spoil anything. 20% are undecided, and 20% say other. Chicken Lord, thank you for showing up. He says, I will have it. It will sit on my bookshelf. I will get me all the Awoken ladies. I'm getting the Ghost Edition. I want everything I can get my hands on. I have an unhealthy attachment to Destiny, and I love it. Agreed. I won't be looking at anything that I have not already completed. The story will blow my mind as it should. This is another piece of flair for me to collect, and I agree. It is going to be a beautiful thing to sit on the shelf, and really it'll be a piece of history. You know, it's going to be cool to have that. I like that a lot. Grandpa DeMille says, "I will not. There is so much information online now, and I don't want to. Oh, and that I don't see them as the go-to on strategy or even walkthroughs now. But I'm sure it will be beautifully done and all around an enjoyable read. I would definitely flip through it if I had the chance." And this is a really good point. This DeMille brings up a great point. In that strategy guides aren't the go-to for strategy that he put in quotation marks, or walkthroughs. And he's totally right. Just a giant book that doesn't ever change or is updated, as where websites, YouTube videos, like these are all things that can be handpicked and free. Somebody else will have done this, and you won't have to pay whatever price the book is. So that's a great point, Grandpa DeMille. Destiny Overwatch says, "I plan on buying it, but I won't read it until I'm deep in the game or done with the main story. I never find strategy guides useful, so for me it will be more of a collector's item." This is a good point too. If I do buy the strategy guide, it will be after I'm done with the main story, because I absolutely do not want anything ruined for me that I can avoid. And purchasing a book and reading it is something I can definitely avoid. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Blue Mayhem says, "I want to experience the game with as little spoilers as possible. If I get stuck on something, I would rather ask a fellow G1 member, or just as I would rather them ask me." And I agree. That'll be fun. That'll be fun, and something that Guardian 1 is definitely going to support a peer-to-peer system where we go and get it together. River?
No, that's exactly what I wanted out of this, because Destiny community is going to be so freaking huge. Why not take advantage of that? Freaking pull our resources together. I think would be better than any strategy guide that would be put out by like Brady Games or whatever.
Right? Absolutely.
It's part of the immersion in my mind.
Oh, you're totally right about that, and especially going back to like that Guardian Folio. I like in that Arms and Armament book, there's like written words. Like it makes me want to write in there myself. When I find one of these guns, I want to look in the book and make notes myself. Like I think that would be really cool, a really cool thing to have. And I already want to draw on these strategy guides, and sometimes games would give you a couple pages in the back or the front for notes or codes, but this takes it to that next level. Does anybody here know if that's the only thing that's in the Guardian Folio?
I would love to see, like the Arms and Armaments continued in the Folio, except they're blank, so that you can write in it.
Oh,
like here's a gun, and you have to go find it, and then you can write your own notes about it, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
That would be so cool, because then it'd be like your own personal checklist of, okay, I found one of those, I'm still missing this gun. Has anyone found it?
Agreed. That's a very great point.
Yeah.
Well,
of course, people could always make that themselves too.
Yes, it is true.
I think the Folio and the Arms and Armament thing are completely separate.
Yeah?
Although I have no idea what would be in the Folio.
Totally. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, like on the Bungie website where it's telling you what's in it, it says Guardian Folio, and then it has like an indentation, and then it has a list of all of the things that were listed, including that Arms and Armament. So I'm thinking that maybe the Guardian Folio is just like a folder or a book cover, but like I was really hoping it would be more of like a journal. So I don't know.
Possible.
I don't know. And the last comment comes from Leo, who says he'd love to have it, although spoilers would be an issue. But first I'd have to see how to get it to Costa Rica without paying an additional $60. Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know how you do that, and probably YouTube guides will be much cheaper.
Abound. All over the place.
Right. right? So right on. Right on. We have 4 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to Jez. Which of these are you most interested in talking about next?
I think we should probably talk about the clans and alliance system that Siege outlined in Guardian Radio.
Agreed, agreed. And it was a very interesting talk because when I heard that the clans would be a limited amount of number, it made sense in that you want to know everybody who's in your clan. You don't want to feel like a number, and so for the purposes of making Guardian 1 feel like one building with a bunch of smaller alliances. Like I want to keep the Guardian 1 forums for everybody. I want everybody to be able to come here and talk about these, and then the alliances will be the sub breakdown of people who want to play with each other. I wish I had a number of how big or small the alliances were. Like, do you know, Jez, how much are in a clan?
Well, he said that they're still working on that number, but they're around 100 to 150.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's quite a bit.
Mhm.
Right now, Guardian 1 has 52 awesome members, and we could definitely all fit in one in one thing for now.
But
But
Guardian Radio has over 1,000.
totally,
Big
1,000
dogs,
people.
man.
It'll be interesting to see how those work. And also, will these clans be able to align with more than one place? Because or will you have to start an entirely new clan? So like say I wanted to be in some Guardian Radio clan because I like those guys, and I wanted to build stuff with them, but I also want to have this Guardian 1. So do I have to start a whole new thing, or can we connect like that? Can you? Because they were talking about pledging allegiance to a group. If these people want to say, hey, we like what you stand for, we will fly your flag. Can you fly more than one, or is an alliance linked to only one? Anybody have any knowledge on this?
To me, it sounded like an alliance was an umbrella for a whole bunch of clans.
Yes.
That was the way to get your 1,000 members, was to have 10 different clans in one alliance. And
Mhm.
I'm sure just like with groups on Bungie, I'm part of the Guardian Radio group, but I'm part of Guardian 1 as well, and so I'm sure that we could have a clan, but it could also be in an alliance with some Guardian 1 people, or with Prime Guard, or any other people who want to be in an alliance with us. I'm sure that we could make an umbrella like that as well.
Interesting. I'm very excited to see how it goes. Thanks to Crimson Warlock, I did get a chance to play around with the alpha set of clan makings, and it looked like a lot of fun. And I saw the Blade for Alliances on there, and so I don't know. I hope we can make our own flags. When you go on to competitive multiplayer and you throw
Right.
down that flag, like I think having that be a flag, your own personal flag or your group flag, would be super awesome.
Mhm.
Just as a side thing. But I did want to say that Guardian 1 is about to enter a stage of open enrollment. I know a lot of people joined because they want to help others, and I'm right now working on the framework to cover everything that somebody would want to do. Like I want people to be exact and meshed with Guardian 1 as they want to. I want people to be able to show up and just read the forums, maybe find somebody to play a game with, or I want them to be able to go all in. If you want to start a YouTube channel, we will help you with this. We will help you with the specifics. If you want to just do patrols, if you want to stake out a place on the map, like I envision for Guardian 1, a section of players who take a shift, some kind of hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you want, and sit on a part of a map and have that space be yours to your beat, your patrol. So when people come along, you help them through, or you just sit there, and watch them destroy face. Like I want there to be that.
Face.
I want people to be exactly as involved in this as they want to be, and so in the next couple of days I'll be posting on our forums so anybody can sign up to do what they want. Like I will be getting with each person who wants a position, and I will be helping them shape the scope of that. So that everything is maximized. And also, there's some people who have great ideas that I have not even come up with yet. And I want those people to be able to say, well, I want to do this. And I'll say, that's a great idea. Let's get you official. So open enrollment. If you have an idea, come to the website, say this is what I want to do, and we will get it done. There's going to be I'm looking for a calendar app, a calendar that I will put on the website that you will also be able to have, like a lot of people's phones. You're able to pull dates and events off of calendars just by having someone's email. So I will have a Guardian 1 email where you can put those events into your phone, so you can just search who is doing what at any one point in time. Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. River?
No, that's all. I was just listening to what you were saying. I mean, the calendar sounds like something that might be in the companion app, but
right.
I mean,
this was something that this is one of the reasons why I haven't gone to push all of this yet, is because we don't know exactly what Bungie is going to support, and I absolutely believe that there will be a calendar in the Guardian 1 app. Or in the Guardian 1 app, in the oops, in the Bungie
check that
app.
ego, sir.
But yeah, I want to make sure that that's a known support. Like we will definitely have that functionality moving forward, so that it will be kind of like a TV guide. Like I want people to be like, well, I'm going to be on from 6 to 8. What's going on this day? Maybe that person would love to run with one of us. If
Right.
we're running strikes, or if we're doing multiplayer, classes, all kinds of awesome stuff. So if you have any ideas you want to add, and I want people to know also that there will be no expectation of doing anything. Treon Amith said in one of our posts that these were all great ideas, but he's never going to, run any of those. And
Right.
you don't feel like you have to do any of this. But if you want to, it's there for you to take. You want to take this. You want to help Guardians. We want to help you help Guardians. So, you got anything else, Warlock?
No, I'm just ready for the beta. Bring it on. We've got 7 days, right?
7 days at this time next week. Hopefully, I will have put in some kind of 6, 7, 8 hours of Destiny. I will be a changed man. It will be amazing.
Hope you guys have fun.
Right?
I'll catch up with you eventually.
13 days for you, River.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Why you do this, Bungie?
It'll be all right. I'm a patient man. It'll
Jez.
work.
No, nothing extra. I'm slightly passing out.
Awesome. Well, in that case, that is the end of our show. I'd like to thank everybody who showed up in the chat, everybody from Prime Guard, Chicken Lord. You are always there, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Shout outs to the Ancient Warriors, who are a great group and definitely one of my inspirations for Guardian 1. They are a group of 30-year-old plus gamers, most of them much older than 30 years old. But they're a great group of guys who are very inclusive, are very helpful. And if you're over 30 years old and you want to join a group of people who are mutually respectful of each other, and who aren't afraid to not be amazing players, this is the group for you. River, shout outs.
Real quick, I want to let everybody know that Guardian 1 will be taking part in the Extra Life for Kids campaign this year.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's really familiar with that. I know some of us are. It's a campaign that happens every year, and the Destiny community took part of that last year with Guardian Radio heading that campaign effort for us. This time, since Dado, thank you for mentioning Dado. Dado was in that 24-hour streaming charity event for kids. Be on the lookout for that. I think Destiny Dispatch pointed out that this year it will be on October 25th. So do expect a whole lot of the Destiny community to take part in that this year, much bigger than it was last year.
Awesome.
Just before my birthday.
More details to come.
Great. Thanks, River. Warlock?
I don't have any shout-outs today, but I'll just thank everyone who came to listen to us live tonight. I think I counted about 15 people in the chat, so thank you all for coming, and tell more people. Would love to see more people here and listen to us and talk Destiny with us.
Awesome. Jez?
Oh, just thanks everyone to come out. It's basically the same thing as everyone else said. I can't wait till beta, which I'm not sure how we're dealing with the stream because it's going to overlap with the first night of the PS4 beta. That's going to be fun.
Oh, wah. That's too bad.
I think Jez and Warlock, we could probably take an hour out of our Destiny playing time.
I'll be even more
Maybe.
distracted.
Well, River, if we all call out sick next week, you'll know what it's like.
Yeah, I'll run it by myself, man. I got the helm. Bring it on.
Right? You don't need us.
No,
You
you're
got the
funny.
voice.
Come on.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody who showed up. Thank you again, Jez, Warlock, River. Appreciate everybody coming out. And we will see you next week.
Peace.